Welcome to The Awakening with Kelvin Phiri. This is part of the Bridges to Prosperity series, where we explore the future of Africa and the choices we must make to shape our destiny. Today's episode is urgent, and I want you to lean in, because something has just happened that could impact not only global trade, but the way Zambia and the rest of Africa interact with the world going forward. On April 2nd, US President Donald Trump announced what he calls Liberation Day. It wasn't a speech, it was a declaration of economic war through massive import tariffs. Everything coming into America now has a 10% base tariff. For some countries like China, Japan, and even some African nations, the tariffs go much higher. Lesotho, a small country in Southern Africa, was hit with a 50% tariff, the highest of all South Africa, 31%. And though Zambia hasn't been directly named, we are part of this equation, because when the global economy gets shaken, countries like ours feel the aftershock first. What is Trump really trying to do? So what's going on here? What is Donald Trump trying to achieve with these tariffs? It's simple. He wants to put America first. This is about cutting trade deficits, protecting US industries, and punishing countries that have benefited from open American markets while protecting their own. Trump is saying to the world, you tax our goods, we'll tax yours. We're done playing nice. It's not just about economics, it's about economic nationalism. America is turning inward. It's choosing to build at home, manufacture at home, and buy at home. And that decision, whether we like it or not, is going to affect Africa in ways we haven't even begun to process. The impact on Zambia and Africa. Let's talk about Africa and Zambia in particular. Many African countries, like Lesotho, rely heavily on exports to the United States under trade agreements like AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act. That agreement gave duty-free access to African goods in American markets. Now, it's under serious threat. The new tariffs signal that America is moving away from open trade. Even with developing countries, Lesotho's textile industry, which employs tens of thousands, could collapse under a 50% tariff. South Africa's export sectors, from vehicles to wine, are already taking hits. The South African rand is wobbling, investors are nervous. In Zambia, we may not have been mentioned by name, but we're not untouched. We rely heavily on copper exports, and those exports feed into global manufacturing, especially in China. If Chinese manufacturers face tariffs from the US, their production slows down. If the production slows down, their demand for Zambian copper goes down, and when copper prices fall, our economy feels the blow. And this is not just about copper. We import a lot of goods too. If global prices rise because of tariff wars, Zambians will end up paying more, not just for cars, but for fuel, for equipment, even for basic goods. So we have to ask ourselves, are we ready for this new world? Or are we still too dependent on a system that's no longer working for us? Demolishing dependency. This moment, as tough as it is, could be the beginning of a much-needed awakening for Africa. For decades, our economies have been structured to serve others. We export raw copper, cotton, coffee. We import finished electronics, processed foods, refined materials. That's not trade. That's a pipeline of wealth flowing out of the continent. But what if this disruption is a blessing in disguise? What if this is the moment Africa decides to demolish dependency? We need to ask hard questions. Why aren't we refining our own copper? Why are our farms still exporting raw maize instead of processed food? Why are our youth importing software instead of building it? We can't afford to sit and hope that America or anyone else will give us favorable terms. We must invest in ourselves. We must build the industries, infrastructure, and policies that let us create value on our own soil. And if Western doors are closing, maybe it's time to open new ones. Can BRICS offer a way out? Let's talk about BRICS, the emerging global alliance made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. It's not just a talk shop anymore, it's becoming a powerful economic force, and it's growing. Recently, Egypt, Ethiopia, and other African countries have shown interest in joining. There's talk of a new BRICS currency, new development banks, and new platforms where African countries can negotiate as equals, not beggars. So, can BRICS become the alternative? Can Zambia and Africa as a whole shift eastward and build alliances based on mutual benefit? Possibly, but not without preparation. BRICS is not a savior, it's a strategic alliance, and for us to benefit, we must come to the table with value, vision, and vital reforms. That means fighting corruption, investing in local industries, and building systems that inspire trust, not pity. It also means we must speak with one voice. Africa divided is weak, but Africa united, with 1.4 billion people and natural resources beyond measure, is a global power. Closing, is this the end of Africa or a new beginning? So where do we stand? President Trump's tariffs may feel like the world is turning its back on us, but maybe, just maybe, it's an invitation for Africa to turn its face toward itself, to say, enough. We will not wait to be saved. We will rise. Is this the end of Africa as a participant in global trade? Or is this the beginning of a continent that knows its worth, adds its value, and charts its own course? That, my friends, is up to us. This has been The Awakening with Kelvin Phiri. Thank you for listening. If this spoke to you, share it. Start a conversation. Let's not miss this moment. Until next time, stay awake, stay bold, and never stop learning.